Hey, everybody, it's Tim. Welcome to episode number 15 of Live and Found. Now, originally today, we were going to talk about Found First, the Found First framework, and we were going to talk about Signal One. But we kind of had a little strategic meeting, and we wanted to make sure that we really give it the attention it needs. And Joy wants to be part of that conversation, and she's still on her honeymoon. So, we're going to do a little bit of a reset here today. Don't worry. Found First Framework, Signal One will be next week. So if you tuned in for that, that's great. Stay with me though, and you will understand why we made this decision. So when we started talking about AI visibility a year ago, and it's how it's evolving, how it's reshaping the world, and how businesses get found, we felt that we needed to build a system, and that's where we came with the Found First framework. And today we really want to not stop that momentum because it's building momentum and we want to keep building it, but to look back and see how far we've come and to make sure that the foundation we're building is ready for what's next. So kind of consider this your 2026 primer for the Found First framework. In the world of AI, we know it's not growing, it's not standing still, and if you're not growing and if you're standing still, you're quickly becoming invisible. So today's episode is more of a checkpoint, a moment to reflect on what the layers taught us, why we strengthened the signals, and how the Found First framework has evolved since we launched it in the summer. We're going to talk a little bit about the layers, the bias and behavior, and we're going to talk about the new Signal 9 connectivity and context. And we're going to look ahead to where Found First is going next and how we're revisiting the signals, starting with Signal One next week. So, when we first launched Found First in June, the idea was simple: build a framework that helps businesses become AI visible. We started with 5 core signals. Those signals were our foundation, and they were your digital footprint, your domain expertise, your AI discoverability, your local relevance, and bias in the data. What's digital footprint? Well, it's your website, your social postings. What's your domain expertise? Your domain expertise is how are you positioning yourself to be the expert in your field? How are you telling AI that you are the expert? Your AI discoverability, what are you doing to make sure AI finds you? What are those steps that you need to take? Your local relevance, of course, is what are you doing locally? And what are the steps you're taking to make sure that you're found locally? And of course, bias in the data is what we felt at the time was why our local businesses, especially those female and minority owned, weren't being found. Why these 5 matter, but the world changed them, and our research changed them faster than we anticipated. AI hasn't just changed search, it has changed understanding. It has moved from scanning keywords to understanding those relationships, those things that are binding everything together. We're used to typing in a question in Google and getting a list of websites. But now AI has gone so far from that. We now talk into our phones, or we type into our phones, and we ask them questions that are complex and very specific. And in that shift, we found 2 things that we didn't have words for, and that was layers. What layers were that? And of course, the first one we found that was really a layer was bias in the data. When we first added it, we thought it was a signal, a standalone part of the framework, but we quickly realized it wasn't just a single point of visibility. It is something so much deeper in the world of AI. Bias, shows up in how AI learns, how it was taught, what it was taught on, what information it sees, what information it misses, and most importantly, who it's favoring. If your business isn't being represented clearly or consistently online, you get left out of what the story is, and and what the story is, and how AI talks about you in your industry. We found it's not an algorithm glitch, it's a data problem. AI didn't reflect and can't reflect what it is not seeing. So bias in the data became a layer. It's because underneath everything, it's the knowledge that AI has. It's not about how much content you're publishing, it's about how people are interacting with it. Every view, every comment, every dwell time signal, I mean, the times that people are staying on your site or on your post, that's AI watching the audience and asking, are people paying attention to this? And why are they paying attention to this? The behavior level told us that visibility isn't a static part of AI. It's alive, it's growing, it's learning. So bias teaches us completeness, behavior is teaching us activity. And that's why those two layers are teaching us that visibility is data and motion. And it's important that we add that to each of the signals. So once we understood the layers and it became clear that core 5 wasn't wasn't working as a signal, we were just it felt like we were just getting overpowered by the landscape. Each signal needed strengthening because if bias and behavior affect everything underneath it, then the signals also have to absorb and fix that reality. So, for example, your digital footprint isn't just consistency, it's clarity, it's connection. Your domain expertise isn't just authority, it's proof through engagement. AI discoverability isn't about just keywords, it's about contextual linking and structured data. And local relevance now includes local behavior, real engagement, reviews, and community. So we didn't rework the framework and we're not reworking it. What we're doing now is we're strengthening it, or more importantly, we're reinforcing it. We made sure each piece bends with the weight of AI, but doesn't break with it or break because of it. As we strengthened, something else happened. We found new patterns. New signals kept showing up that AI kept reinforcing in our results. That's when the next signals came in. We changed Signal 5 from bias to a technical layer. Visibility is behind the scenes. It's what is connected, or and most importantly, what's not connected. And how important are the behind the scenes things like schema, alt text, things like that. We did signal 6, social signals. Visibility now includes credibility from real conversations, shares, comments, community proof. We had AI specific signals. The one surprised people the most. It's not about marketing to human, it's about being legible to AI. Schema, summary, structured entries, and is how you talk to AI directly, that is important. And then we had our signal 8, of course, our behavior signals. What's the measure of engagement? What is the behavior level as ongoing proof of interest? How long are people saying? Are they downloading your content? Are they going to your FAQ pages? Are they asking questions and you're answering them? That's that behavioral performance signal, that's signal 8. And finally, signal 9, and probably one of the most important signals that we've added and that we're really working on right now is that connectivity and context, the one that ties everything together. It measures how well your ecosystem, and that's really what the FoundFirst framework has become. It has become an ecosystem that connects how well your pages, your posts are connected together, how your mentions and everything is one coherent story that tells AI about you. Signal 9 is turned into our capstone, the connective tissue that makes FoundFirst complete. Because AI doesn't see just websites, it sees webs of meaning. So, what have we learned since June? Well, looking back over these months, we've learned AI reads relationships. It looks for consistent patterns between what you say, what others say about you, and how they connect. We also learned that data without movement is noise. If your footprint doesn't behave, if it's quiet, AI assumes it's outdated. What we mean there is consistency. Make sure you're being consistent with updating your website, updating your posts, updating your Google My Business. Visibility has to grow with AI because AI is evolving weekly, daily. Your strategy isn't adapting, your visibility is shrinking. And so it's important to make sure you keep your AI visibility up, active, and bright. And growth isn't optional. If you're not growing, you're not stable. You're stagnating. And stagnation in AI visibility is the same as being invisible. If AI doesn't see that you are changing, it's going to assume that the lights are out and you're out of business. So this checkpoint isn't about starting over. It's about growing smarter. It's about tightening the framework so it reflects what AI actually sees today. The FoundFirst framework isn't meant to be rigid. We have designed it to flex with AI, to bend without breaking. That's what makes this checkpoint so important and why we wanted to pause for just 1 week and get us recentered for what we're going to talk about the rest of this year and your 2026 FoundFirst framework. Every business, whether it's local, global, needs a framework that grows with change. If you're using the same content strategy from a year ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you're already behind the AI curve. This is the moment to relink, reconnect, and recommit to your business and to commit to AI, the future of AI. We know it's the future. It's here. It's happening. To make sure your footprint, your schema, your content, and your behavior all align into one discoverable ecosystem is the goal of the FoundFirst framework. Because AI visibility isn't a finish line, it's a loop. And you want to keep that feedback loop strong and working. And the better the loop, the stronger your visibility becomes. So next week, we are going to go back where it all began. We're going to talk about Signal One and your digital footprint. But this time we're looking at it through everything that we've learned. Because your footprint today isn't just a set of links, it's a living network. We'll talk about how to evolve it for an AI ecosystem, how to build interlinking trust paths, and how to make sure every piece of your digital presence speaks the same language. So, if this week is the checkpoint, next week is your next step and your first step forward. So, here's where we land. The FoundFirst framework isn't just holding up, it's growing stronger. The layers taught us how to see bias and behavior differently. The new signals taught us how to measure connection, not just consistency. And this checkpoint proves that the system we built can keep evolving as AI does. Because in this world, if you're not growing, you're disappearing. Visibility belongs to those who move, those who adapt, those who stay alive in the system AI is learning from every day. So let's take this week to reflect, look at your own signals, what's strong, what needs strengthening, and get ready for next week's first step, retracing our step into Signal One. Because we're not just getting started, we're getting stronger. And as always, keep taking those steps so your business is found first. We'll see you next time. Remember to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and X. And our blog will drop tomorrow that goes into a little more detail about this. Have a great day, and we'll see you for episode 16 next week of Live and Found.